Welcome back to the best movie of all time. It's better than Batman.
No.
It's better than Spider-Man No Way Home. All those combined.
I mean, to be honest, I went into this movie with the most minimal expectations one could have. Because when you look at when you Google Morbius reviews and you look at the news part of Google, you see things like Jared Leto does his best to lift up a movie that never gets off its feet, or whatever the fuck this headline was saying.
Off its wings or
something.
Something.
These critics made me think oh, this movie's gonna be bad. This movie's gonna be bad, and it was, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's the benchmark. And that will always be the benchmark of a bad superhero movie is Spider-Man 3.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about No Way Home, but you mean the Spider-Man.
I mean Spider-Man 3. Tobey Maguire, okay. Fucking goth dancing on the street, pointing his fingers at women. That was
true.
Cringe AF, as the kids say.
But as we will get into spoilers later on, there is a dance scene similar that you said it was worse. So,
yeah,
worse than that.
Yeah, I didn't actually think a scene could get worse than the Tobey Maguire dancing scene, but apparently I'm wrong.
But yeah, same. I had the same thing. Because when you Google it, I think it was 5.1 out of 10 or something.
Yeah.
On one of those sites.
And then you see 3.5 out of 5, and you're just well, whoever went in to see that movie clearly was bad because they couldn't see.
Yeah. They're just watching with echolocation the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I also... because, it was 5.1 the other day, and I looked today, and it was even lower, 4.9 or some shit. So yeah, I came in with the same thing. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be really, really bad. But I guess that's sort of a good thing to go into movies. You just have really low expectations.
And I think the problem with this movie is that Sony has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
They have no vision because Disney wasn't helping them.
Yeah.
To be honest, Disney actually does have vision, and they have the ideas for the movies are organized way, way, way in advance. Mm. This movie was organized mere minutes before it premiered.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it might as well have.
Sony, what's it called? Sony with Marvel stuff. They're similar to DC, right? Where it's just sort of
DC.
They don't know what they're doing.
To be honest, DC is preferable to this movie. DC.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
A lot. You know what? There's actually quite a few DC movies I like.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman actually is better than the theatrical version. The Snyder cut. The Snyder cut is better than the Whedon cut. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 84. I haven't seen it. I hear it's terrible. I'll just trust what I read on the internet. Wonder Woman, the first one, was really good.
Yeah. Suicide
Squad was entertaining and memorable. Notice how I didn't say good or bad.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of... I'm meaning in DC in terms of
as a continuity, as a shared universe like the MCU.
Yeah. They don't really know what they're doing. No, they don't.
They especially have no idea what they're doing with the Superman character.
Yeah.
I still have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hit or misses, right? Like you said, Wonder Woman, the first one's really good. 84 isn't.
You see 84?
I've not seen it, but I've seen reviews and whatever. Apparently, it's really bad too. Or it's not as good as the first one.
Those movies
that it's entertaining. Shazam's pretty good.
The movies that they made that were bad had good moments.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman Superman fight was probably one of my most favorite moments in a movie, because I've always wanted to see that on the big screen.
Yeah.
to tell you the truth, it was jam packed full of shit. It was like The Dark Knight Returns, Superman, Doomsday, and Justice League put in one movie, and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
It should not have been. But for what it is, I enjoy it. I still watch it from time to time. I will never watch the Whedon cut of Justice League because it's a total bag of shit.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And Morbius is not a bag of shit, but it's close.
Yeah, like it's definitely not as bad as like the reviews or whatever had me going in. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like
I'm trying to understand because Venom was good. I liked Venom.
Yeah.
Venom 2 was less good but still entertaining.
Yeah.
But I don't understand Sony's obsession with making solo movies for Spider-Man's villains. There's not enough to make it a decent movie. Yeah. Morbius is a villain. He has no antagonist. His antagonist is Spider-Man. And where was he?
Is he a villain? I thought he was like a kind of like Venom, right? Like an anti-hero?
No, he's a villain.
Oh, he's a villain. Okay.
Just like Venom. And Venom was only made to be an anti-hero until later in the comics.
Yeah.
And if you're going to argue with me on that, you're wrong. It's just so stupid. Like really, the villain of this movie is his best friend who he grew up with, who has the same disease as him, who steals his cure, who gets superpowers, and he becomes like a fucking murderer. It's so predictable.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
I could name a billion other movies that follow this same cookie cutter formula, and I tell you, except I can't remember them because there's so many of them.
Yeah,
it was so predictable.
Yeah, that's kind of the like you kind of hit the nail on the head. That's kind of the problem with like the Sony Marvel movies is that like, well, they've only had like a few so far. Or no, they've had like other ones, I guess, too, right?
Yeah,
like the Spider-Man ones. But yeah, it's sort of like, it's basically like, oh, like I've seen this already in other movies, more other superhero movies that have been done in like the 2000s, right?
Yeah,
it's sort of like, oh, this is like an early 2000s superhero movie. So it's not like an updated one nowadays that like Marvel's doing.
You know, I really have to hand it to Jared Leto because he's done what has never been done. He's been in a terrible movie in both DC and Marvel. It's really quite something. It's never been done. It's never been done. Tom Hardy was in The Dark Knight Rises, which is still seen as a good movie. Right. That doesn't count. Jared Leto was in Suicide Squad, and some would argue that Suicide Squad is the equivalent to a flaming bag of dog shit.
But he's the best version of Joker that we've had.
He's a version of the Joker. I'm not going to argue that he's a good version or a bad version, but people will argue that he's a bad version. And he was...
Who are those people? I'll fight them.
And like, you know what? Jared Leto did his best with this movie, but it...
Yeah, it's definitely no Batman that we saw.
Yeah,
it's definitely no like Spider-Man No Way Home. There's definitely a lot of flaws with the movie. There's a lot of things that you're just like, wait, what? Okay, I guess that happened.
Like, no, I seriously, like, my question will always go back to what Sony is actually thinking when they're plotting out this universe that they're trying to build.
Yeah.
Because I have this feeling they're going to end up making The Amazing Spider-Man 3. I have this feeling. Because the Sinister Six, the Sinister Six was teased in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And
true.
With the post-credit scene that we saw, which we will obviously discuss in a few minutes, it makes it seem like that's going to be the reality.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like I sort of agree. It's sort of on the one hand you're kind of like, okay, what are they doing? And then on the other hand you're like, wait, are they doing this? Is
like
that what I? Is
when
that
they were writing the script for this, and they came up with all these ideas. They're at the table there, and there's that one guy at the end where he's like, "Hey, this continuity-wise, this makes no sense. What did they do? Fire him? Because that's probably what they did. Like there's just so many scenes in there that are completely redundant.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's like okay, like I kind of already knew this.
The action scenes were cool.
Yeah,
no complaints.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that thing on the boat, that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no complaints there. But plot wise and script wise and yeah, it just yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. Like, yeah, the plot is kind of weird, and you're just kind of like, okay, I guess that happens. And then you just have to accept a lot of the things that happen, and you're like, oh, okay, why? Okay, all right, I guess that. Okay, cool. I guess we'll just go on to the next scene. And like, yeah, Jared Leto does a pretty good job acting, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of his.
He's a decent actor.
Yeah, like he did pretty good at this job as the Michael Morbius.
He has the looks down too.
Yeah,
like he actually looks like Morbius.
As the
So that's at least good.
Yeah. And then, like, everyone else is kind of like, okay, I guess, right? There's no other really, like, standout character, I guess, either, besides maybe, like, the other, I guess, the villain.
Matt Smith.
Yeah.
What the
but, like...
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, he just sort of...
This movie.
It's sort of weird because he's always, like... I mean, I guess that's in a lot of these movies where they're just, like, they're good, and then all for some reason they're just like, I'm gonna be evil for evil's sake, and you're just like, wait, weren't you like the good boy that was like trying to help your friend or whatever?
Yeah.
The whole episode or the whole movie.
He became evil for no reason,
and
because he was mad that he didn't get his medicine.
Yeah.
Like what the? It makes no sense. This movie makes no sense.
I mean, I guess you could argue like, oh, he got corrupted from the power, right? Like, power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely, or whatever that phrase, right?
Don't say that too loudly. Sony might hear you and might use that to justify why they wrote this movie.
I thought you were gonna say they're gonna have a new for the next superhero movie.
Like, what's the next movie gonna be? The Rhino?
It's a bit crazy.
Because I swear to fucking God, if they make a movie about the Rhino, that's it.
Yeah, that's gonna be Rhino.
I'm done.
He's gonna be Rhino. He's gonna be semi-good guy or whatever as well. They're all gonna be semi-good guys in the Sinister Six or whatever.
The Sinister Sticks.
Sticks, yeah.
6 sticks that fight Spider-Man, and the sticks lose, obviously. Yeah, the post-credit scenes.
But yeah, no, I was gonna say before we get into spoilers, I guess, like, I don't know, like it's not as bad as like the one, like the I guess reviews have been making it.
Also, Sony took out all the Easter eggs.
What do you mean they took it out?
All of them. The graffiti of the picture of Spider-Man, they took it out.
Oh right, yeah. All the stuff that was like in the trailers and shit. Yeah,
they took it out. They took everything that would have made this movie exciting out of the movie.
True. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I realized that too as I was watching. I was like, wait, they didn't do that. They didn't do this. Yeah, I guess before we can get into like huge spoilers, you want to, I guess, just give like a rating.
Like out of 10?
Yeah.
Not even a pass, man.
Not even a pass? I thought they said it was okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I think for me,
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
So like average?
Average.
Okay. Like,
don't you fucking
average superhero movie?
No. An average superhero movie would be good. I'm giving this movie a pass because I'm nice.
Alright.
And it had a few good moments. Like the fight scenes were good. He did get He looked like the character. The effects were cool. That's what I gave a pass. Unfortunately, to get 10 out of 10, the script needs to be better, and it was not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
Oh, and the continuity is fucked up.
Yeah, I think, like, for me... Because, like, I have mentioned before, I am more, like, lenient, I guess, on...
Yeah.
I'm not as, like... I don't know if it's... I guess maybe because I'm just dumb or something. But, like, I'm not as, like, super, like... what's the word? Like, critical a lot of the times. Like, I can be.
I mean, I try not to be either, but, like...
Yeah. No, like, for certain shit I am, but, like, sometimes, like... Especially after my first impressions, like, I'll actually sit and be like, oh... Like, a lot of people will be like, oh, that's so fucking horrible, and then I'll watch it and be like, okay, it's not actually that bad. But I don't know if that's just because I had my expectations super lowered because of other people saying it was really bad. Yeah. But for me, I do think it is, like, a 6 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's, like, slightly above average. It's, like... It's an okay movie. It's got a lot of flaws. Yeah, like I said, like, the plot and the continuity is kind of weird. It doesn't make sense.
It's fucked.
Like, it is, like, predictable. Like, I even said that while we were watching it, I called 2 of the things. I knew as the things were happening, I'm like, oh, I know this. Like, I knew where it was going. I even called it out. But aside from that, like I said, the fight scenes are pretty cool. I liked, like, the visualization too on some of the, like, abilities and shit that he had.
Yeah, and then what really pissed me off is that after the movie ended, I heard applause and I said, "No, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, you actually did say that. You didn't say it too loud, but
I said, "Shut up," because no.
Yeah, it was weird.
When your teacher gives you 5 out of 10 on something, they don't applaud you.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, why are they applauding? Like, I'm like, this isn't Batman or like, or like what's the other one? Like Endgame or Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, those are the only times I've heard people clap in movies, and then this time they're like some people were just like, and I was like, what? No, why? It's like Venom. It's like Venom level. Like I would give Venom like a 6 out of 10, and that's sort of like what I would give this movie. Because, yeah, the fight scenes are pretty good. His acting was pretty good as well. And, yeah, that was like... I guess that's it for, I guess, the non-spoilers, even though there was a little bit of spoilers-ish in there. But, yeah, we can get into more spoilers. We can get into the spoilers section, I guess, now. So if you don't want to watch it, or if you don't want to, I guess, listen to this, you can watch it and then come back and watch. But, like, I would suggest have your expectations lowered. It's not like
I wouldn't have any expectations at all.
Yeah,
if I were gonna watch this movie.
It's no actual Marvel movie.
Like, aside from, like, the Morbius character, there was no other Marvel characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Minus the post-credits.
Aside from the post-credits.
And that's kind of weird, don't you think?
Is it, though? Because, like, Venom also didn't really... Well, I guess... Well, they had symbiotes.
And the Life Foundation.
Oh, okay. I'm not too versed in, like, those.
The Life Foundation. Well, I recently, like, when Venom came out, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is the Life Foundation?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, and it is from Marvel Comics. Mm. Oddly enough, Venom had more canon than Morbius.
And that's not saying much.
That's not saying much. I know, but the movie was just weird. Yeah. It was just. There's how I'm going to describe it. I'm not going to say bad. Yeah. I'm going to say weird in a really disturbing way.
Yeah. I love how, like, what was it? The first quarter of the movie is, like, that's almost all of the trailers that you see. If you saw the trailers, that's actually, like, the big chunk.
You're right.
Of the first, yeah, right? Like,
you're right. What the?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It immediately opens up. It immediately opens up to that scene that you see with the cave, and he's here in the helicopter. And I'm like, wait,
the first half an hour is the trailer.
Yeah, I was like, wait, we're just starting right off the bat here, okay? And bat was pun intended. Yeah, I just love, like, I don't know. I guess he went there just to capture the bats. That was his plan. He's
don't.
Like, he just went there and he's like, "Hey,
Please
bats, come here," and they just like
please.
came around him.
Please don't make me go over this plot.
No, I'm not gonna go over it like bit by bit, but
thank fucking God.
but
yeah, that's so like the gist of it. He kidnaps vampire bats. He tries to
is that a real thing too?
Vampire bats?
Yeah, I don't think that's. I know bats
exist.
are real, but I don't think they just like. Because from what I remember,
you know what? Morbius. I have to look at the date he was created and the date Man-Bat was created for DC Comics because it's pretty much the exact same. That
is Man-Bat a vampire?
In DC, Dr. Kirk Langstrom tried to splice the DNA between human and vampire bat.
Right.
And he ended up turning into more bat than man.
Right.
So he's called Man-Bat.
Right.
So Morbius is like the Marvel's answer if Morbius was created later. It's the same.
But is Man-Bat like a vampire? Or is he just like a bat that's fucking...
It's like he's like a huge ass bat.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But does it like drink blood and shit?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up and get back to you. But it's pretty much the same, almost the same fucking thing.
Right.
So...
but yeah, the whole plot basically is just like... Was it like him and his... he has a friend and I guess they're in like an orphan house or whatever, right?
Yeah. Or
no, not orphan house. I guess their house is for dying children. Or sick kids, right?
Yeah.
And he has like some sort of disease. I don't even know if they ever even mention it. And his friend also has another one.
It was like a blood disorder.
Oh, okay. And his friend also has another one, but I think it's different.
Okay.
Like it's not the exact same thing that he has.
Yeah.
And then so I guess he becomes apparently he's super smart because he fixes some thing that's really tiny or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he like so his whole thing is like he's a scientist. And he's like, I'm gonna cure this whole thing. So that's why he's like, I'm gonna whatever is necessary. I'm gonna splice bats or whatever, right? And so he does that, and then and then like basically like the whole experiment scene, that was pretty cool though.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
they're like, this is not exactly legal, so we got to go in the middle of nowhere. We got to go in international waters, and then they like fucking just on a boat. And doing it, and then like, oh well, I guess we could look it up right now. But like, is this movie? The whole time I was wondering, I'm like, is this movie like PG-13, or like, I don't think it's definitely not R. But like, because I don't think they like, because I noticed that they kind of like don't really show blood either, even though it's kind of fucking brutal, like. Like a lot of the like kills, like Morbius and shit was doing, it was like ripping dudes' throats off and shit.
It was like almost there were like a couple moments where it was like a horror movie.
Yeah, you're like oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Except you're like, you're not on the side of like the humans this time, I guess. And then he's ripping it. He's legit killing people,
like ripping out their throats.
Yeah, and like slicing them up and then drinking their blood and all that shit, and you're like, oh fuck. And then I love how like in the movie too he creates like synthetic blood just so they can have like he literally creates like they put that as like a what's it called, like
plot device,
like a Chekhov's gun, just so later because then like later he has to like I kind of like that mechanic because it was interesting, but like he has to like drink blood to stay
and so
vampire.
So he like reverts back to his human form. He realizes, oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah. And
then his friend is like, well, give it to me. It's time that I get cured. And he's like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
And then people start dying, and we're like, oh no, Morbius is murdering everyone.
Yeah, I thought at first
why
it was Morbius.
Why can't he go to Sony and bleed out everyone who wrote this movie? And do us all a fucking favor.
I thought it was Morbius at first too, because I thought he like did the same thing where he trapped himself in the fucking like the U trap.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's so dumb. Why would you?
Yeah.
He's like, I want to see what happens, and then like, just so happens his friend comes in, and it's like, wait, what if your friend didn't come in? Like, you would have just killed like, you would have smashed your way out of there and killed.
And so like, we eventually find out that it's not Morbius that's killing people,
because
it's Doctor Who.
Yeah,
because Matt Smith was on the Doctor Who. What?
His childhood friend or whatever, like, took it or whatever. And like, I knew like at the scene because Morbius was like looking at it like confused. So I'm like, oh shit, I don't think he did it. Like at that point. Yeah. And that was like one of the very predictable things. And I was like, oh, it's him. And then he basically like gets framed for it.
Like after that, the whole rest of the movie is like a conflict between Morbius and this guy.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing else. His friend like kills their teacher, fucking mentor, whatever fuck you want to call him.
Oh yeah, I forgot the
and then he almost like fucking kills the lady.
Yeah.
And then who ends up being a vampire too?
Well, because that was predictable as well. Or
of course it was predictable. I knew as soon as blood came out like between their lips, I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
There's some shit that's gonna go down.
I was like, wait, is he biting her? And then I was like, wait, no, I think she bit him.
Yeah.
To get his blood into her, right? With the bat power or whatever. And I'm like, oh fucking goddamn, she's gonna be a bat too now.
Yeah.
Like that fucking thing in Venom 2.
Morbius and Morbia.
Like that thing in Venom.
Yeah, she-venom. Except she-venom is a real thing. There's no female Morbius shit. Not that I know of.
There's no she-Morbius? No. She-Orbius?
Not that I know of. And fuck you, because I'm going to have to go home and Google this. And find out that it actually is real. And now I have to write an apology letter to Sony saying, hey, I was wrong. I guess she-Morbius does exist.
Yeah. But no, it's kind of similar. Like, remember like Venom 2 as well. At the end, they have one of those weird random guys, like the security guard or bodyguard. Like, you think he dies, and then he like gets up and has like weird glowing eyes.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess everyone's just gonna fucking have all these powers and shit.
Yeah.
But
then so they have this big fight in the fucking subway.
Yeah.
And obviously the guy dies.
Yeah. Well, Morbius like
and then Morbius comes out of the subway, and then the credits roll.
Right.
What a fucking ending! What kind of a fucking ending was that?
He comes out of the subway. He's fucking riding the bats like a fucking dragon or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it fucking cuts to the girl opening her eyes, and you're like, oh, she's a vampire. And then it cuts back to him, and then it ends.
It ends!
And you're like, what
kind of a fucking ending is that?
You're like, oh, okay.
Like, where did he go?
Where did he come from?
What happened to her? Does he know that she's a vampire?
Yeah. I thought like he was going to her for a second. And also like, I don't know if it's because he's the first one, but like the first, I guess, vampire thing or whatever. But like, couldn't the other guy also control the bats? He's the only one being able to control these bats with the power that he has or whatever. There's also a similar thing where he's running away from him. Like, remember in the subway?
Yeah.
The first time like they encounter, and he's like, I don't want to fight you actually, and then he runs away. And you're like, wait, what? And then he has this weird scene where he's like
about to fly.
Yeah. And then he's like, wait, I can fly, and then he's like flies, and then I'm like, wait, so the other guy can fly too, or no? The other guy like never fucking wonders about that. He's never like, wait.
It's just so funny. It's like Morbius has this new power, and it doesn't explain if his other friend has that same power because they took the same fucking serum.
Yeah, the guy.
There's no continuity within this movie and within the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
There's a lack of continuity in two categories.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. And now we're at the part where we're gonna discuss the post-credit scene.
Well,
scenes.
Wait, I just want to say before that I just imagine being the guy like you're the villain guy, and you like don't go, oh wait, where'd he go? Oh, I guess he got splattered, or Oh, I guess he flew. Well, can I do that? Nah, fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just walks away.
It's like, oh, that guy flies. Ah, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll just go kill some other people. Drink the blood or whatever.
Walks away, goes to the bar and has a whiskey sour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The post-credit scenes. You know what? This is the first Marvel movie where they've done a post-credit scene that two post-credit scenes with the same character.
Yeah.
And
especially like an extended of the first scene.
And obviously, the post-credit scene again has to do with No Way Home.
Yeah.
Because what was the next one after No Way Home?
What?
What was the next movie after No Way Home? There was another one where like the multiverse opened up and it was
Venom.
Was it? What happened? Was there anything? Was there another MCU movie that came after No Way Home?
I don't think.
Oh no,
so.
it was Venom 2. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
because he got sucked into it.
Yeah, obviously.
And then they
you see this giant purple thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know what that is. Oh, that's the fucking ending of No Way Home. Oh shit.
Right. You're like, okay.
And then Adrian Toomes is in this universe.
Yeah.
And it does like
it goes to a jail cell, right? And then you just see him like phasing into reality.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
And then the scene's over. And there's more credits, and there's another one, and you see Morbius driving out and getting out of his car.
Well, no, before that, like, they see him, they're just like, this mysterious guy came out
of
nowhere.
Yeah, this mysterious guy named Adrian Toomes, right, because there was a news clip.
Yeah,
right?
and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And
he's still in jail, and he just gets carried away.
I don't get this. I don't get this news reporter. Her factual information is the complete opposite of factual.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, this random guy named Adrian Toomes appeared in a jail cell for absolutely no fucking reason at all.
Yeah.
But he might go free.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay.
Okay?
Like, why is he in a jail cell to begin with?
And then
no one's asking that question?
The scene's over.
Yeah.
And what's
like,
weird is there was supposed to be an additional scene in the movie of Adrian Toomes talking to Michael Morbius more.
Really? Like in the actual movie?
The trailer.
Like not the...
In the trailer. It was one of the things Sony cut.
Oh, okay.
Because
God
also, knows what.
Because also in that scene when they're going by and he's being like carted away by the police or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it cuts by the wall, and in the trailer there's the poster of Spider-Man saying murder or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in this one there's like just nothing. It's just not there.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Because there's in the trailer you see Adrian talk to Morbius and say, Michael, we should talk. I remember it. I remember this trailer.
I haven't seen it again. I don't remember. Anyway,
so he gets carted away by police. The scene ends. There's more credits. And then there's another one where Morbius is driving. He gets out.
Right. And you see him on GPS and it's like in the middle of nowhere or some shit.
And he gets out and he looks up in the sky and the Vulture appears. Now, here's the thing. Where'd he get his fucking suit?
Yes, okay.
Because
I was wondering if you were wondering the same thing.
That suit almost looks like the same one from the MCU, which was taken from the Chitauri invasion. There was no invasion in this universe, so where the fuck did he get it? Where the fuck did he get it?
I was wondering if you were wondering the same thing as we were watching it, because I was like...
Oh, I was wondering.
I was like, wait, what? Where did he get it? Did he just make it? Did it come with him?
Also, I saw, like, some comments on the internet before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till I see it. And I'm like, wait, how the fuck did he get his armor?
Yeah.
Because it looks the same from Spider-Man Homecoming, except the helmet's different.
Right. Yeah, I guess it looks different. I have to look at it again because I'm not very good at like exactly what it looks like or whatever. But yeah. So I guess is that what? Because you read an article that said it was like, oh, it's inconsistent with the post ending scene. It makes things inconsistent with the story that happened or something.
It makes it like because they're like it's Vulture talking about teaming up and blah 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 blah. Which makes me wonder what, like, Are we actually going to get the Amazing Spider-Man 3? I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we are, because they teased the Sinister Six in Amazing Spider-Man 2. They had... It was... Vulture's wings. Hoo-ha, hee-hee-ha.
Right.
Doc Ock's tentacles. It had, like, the goblin armor.
Right.
Like, there was the rhino costume or armor, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was all these things teased, and then...
Yeah.
Like,
they just
no plan. And now they have a plan.
Yeah.
Which is no plan.
Well, yeah, well, I don't know if it's a rumor, but I remember some people were saying on the internet or speculating that maybe they might actually make a Spider-Man 3 now because of No Way Home and with Andrew Garfield. So that might be kind of interesting, you know. To see.
I would watch.
Yeah.
Because I actually like the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Except I liked everything except for the Green Goblin's face. that just looked terrifying in not a good way at all.
Right. Yeah.
But it's there's no continuity right now with Sony because they have no idea what they're doing. It's the equivalent of leaving a toddler home alone. Like, they have no idea what they're fucking doing. Yeah, that's like... It's a disaster.
Yeah. Like, this is what we were talking about when we were saying, like, it's just confusing and, like...
No, seriously.
It's like... inconsistent. We're like, what are they planning?
What Sony is doing right now is like the equivalent to parents leaving a 5-year-old at home alone. Yeah. It's like Disney has left the building and Sony is making this shit up, and it's not. They're not doing a good job. Yeah. They're really not.
Yeah. Well, they got left like a blueprint or like a little bit of a nugget, right, from actual Marvel, right? Like having Venom in the actual like MCU, right? Or putting him into the thing, and then, but then they're just kind of like, okay, well, I guess we'll do our version, and then we'll just do this, and I guess people will be excited because it's like, it's like that's what we mean by it's just inconsistent and what are they planning to do? Like, what is this? What like is it like? Well, are they actually going to do Sinister 6? Is that what you
right
guys
now
are
it's
actually going
only
to do?
Sinister 3.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because Marvel kind of dropped the ball with that too, where like they didn't even use Venom, they had him, but I don't know if that was just because Sony kind of threw him in there, and then they like and then they didn't have a plan to use Venom.
How they're handling this. Yeah. Like, they could handle it so much better.
Yeah. Because now Venom, I guess there's a symbiote now in technically MCU, but then also like Venom, I guess, got sent back to, I guess, this universe.
Correct.
We don't even know because I guess we have to wait for Venom 3 fucking
and also,
green symbiote version.
Also, I think there's going to be no more Spider-Man movies in the MCU.
Yeah.
Just of how they ended that. So I don't know. But there's my 2 cents on this movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they reference Venom at least twice.
Yeah, but he didn't say... Just kidding.
Yeah.
So now there's this one guy who thinks this fucking vampire is Venom.
Yeah. And then it'd be funny if Venom 3 he pops up and then he's just like...
Yeah, no, that guy pops up and he's like, wait, there's 2 Venoms? And Venom's just like, what the fuck?
He's like, this is another one of me? Is there a variant? Yeah, because they also reference, they're like, this is some weird ass shit, whack ass shit. Like that thing in San Francisco. Which I didn't even realize that Venom was in San Francisco, but I guess it was. So yeah, I guess there's Venom, there's fucking Morbius now, and then there's I almost said Hawkeye. And there's Vulture now. God, I don't know who the fuck else they're gonna do. Green Goblin, I guess, again.
No.
And Rhino.
They can't really do.
Isn't he still alive? Or I can't remember, like... Is Harry from Amazing Spider-Man 1 or whatever? Is he?
Oh, Harry from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, shit.
So they're gonna fucking... So they're gonna have what, 3?
4.
So yeah, they're gonna have Green Goblin,
Vulture, Morbius, Venom,
Green Goblin,
and
probably.
Rhino.
Rhino. So just one more. Craven, I guess.
Oh shit!
They're supposedly supposed to be doing a Craven movie.
Oh fuck! Maybe they do have a very minimal idea of what they're doing.
All right.
Maybe, but Dane DeHaan, who plays Harry, I don't think is coming back as Harry.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get someone new, which is fine. You just say, "Oh, he got plastic surgery."
Or no, they don't even have to do that. They can do like the variant thing, right?
Yeah.
They can just be like, "Oh, it's a different variant." It's the same guy, but it's just a different, it's a variant or whatever. But goddamn. Well, also, we almost forgot that the scene that you said that was worse than the Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Morbius' friend, he's at home, music's playing, he has pants on but no shirt, and he's dancing. Yeah. And it was at this moment that I thought, wow, Spider-Man 3's better.
you had Vietnam flashbacks in Spider-Man 3.
And I didn't think that sentence would ever come into my fucking mouth, but it did.
You're just watching it as he was dancing, and then you have Tobey Maguire dancing in your brain as well. And you're like, goddamn.
Yeah, and with that thought in my brain, I'm like, wow, I like that better.
You're like, somebody kill me.
What is wrong with me?
And it's also dancing to fucking, was it? Because he's British, I guess. He's dancing to British rap grime music. Nice. And it's like, wait, what?
The best.
It's
obviously.
so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, I guess. That's our review for the awesome Morbius movie.
Don't you dare say the word awesome and Morbius in the same sentence.
The best superhero movie we've seen since...
It was, you know what?
Since Endgame.
It was meh.
Yeah,
That's what it was. It was meh.
Yeah.
It was, I'll give it a pass because it possibly sets something up and makes me think there's going to be an amazing Spider-Man 3. But that also means that I'm getting my hopes up for something that might not even happen. Knowing Sony, it probably won't happen.
Yeah,
because
that's
they'll set all this up and then they're like, oh no, this is bad, we need to stop.
Yeah. And then they'll fucking drop the ball and just cancel everything. Oh, man. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. If you don't have anything to do and you want to watch a movie and there's nothing else good on, I guess you could go watch it with some friends, maybe have a laugh or two.
Yeah, or if you want to watch something better, watch your grass grow.
Yeah. Or you watch Moon Knight, that's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's really good. But yeah, I guess that's it for our review on Morbius. God, there's so many fucking stuff coming out, though. This Sonic 2, we might do. This
we'll
Moon
probably
Knight.
end up doing Sonic 2.
This Moon Knight, which I really want to get these guys in on it. I guess there's still Riverdale because it's back up. I have to edit that video though because it's fucking a long one.
We wanted Chad to be here, but he has this stupid thing called school.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say death.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, he's got some.
Isn't school and death the same thing?
Yeah. It's like that old saying where there's just a couple things you can't escape in life.
School and
taxes, death, and school. All right, but yeah, that's it for our review. Thank you guys for watching.
Okay, peace out.